The reason for the skipping is actually the ER. Good morning, guys. It is Saturday morning. No, it's Sunday morning. We skipped Saturday. That is how it is. The reason for the skipping is actually the ER. It's not not anything bad. Well, it was bad, but it's good again. So we don't have to worry. Don't worry. And I'm going to tell you about it. However, you have to know it's a little bit TMI because I'm going to go into details and tell you what happened. And yeah. So when I left you off on Friday, I had really bad cramps. What I didn't tell you was that I had started to poop blood. And in itself, it doesn't have to be dangerous. Like, it's the reason why I was worried is because one, I never done it before. That was the first time this has happened. I also had really bad cramps, and then also I eat blood thinners. So my wounds, like when I get cut, it takes a lot longer time for me to actually heal a cut because I'm eating blood thinners. And I very easily get scars and stuff like that because it takes a long time before it actually closes up properly. And yeah, so I went to bed at around 8 or 9ish, and I took my painkillers and went to bed. And apparently the muscle relaxants that I eat actually helped with the cramps, and that is why I had periods during the day when I was like, oh, the cramps are almost gone, this is super good. They weren't gone, they were hiding because of the muscle relaxants. So yeah, that was what happened with that. But I took all the painkillers and the muscle relaxants, so I got a couple of hours of sleep. And then at 1 o'clock I woke up to really bad cramps, and I was pooping just blood, pure blood, right out. Which also means that the issue I had was in the lower intestines. If I had it higher up, like in my tummy or in my upper intestines, the blood should have had time to coagulate a little bit, even though I have my both coagulate and be affected by the tummy acids, which it hadn't. And that is, we knew that the problem was lower down. That was why. We know people with like lower intestines issues, so we kind of know how it works. However, it hadn't stopped bleeding, and it had bled for over 6 hours. So it was like, okay, I think we need to look at this. So we have a number that we can call, where you can talk to a nurse, and she can tell you what she thinks you should do. And I had read on the webpage that I most likely need to go to the ER. But I really didn't want to go to the ER because the ER in Sweden, it takes time. It always takes time, especially in the middle of the night, especially at a weekend, because then you have all the kind of brawls that causes people to go in. Because the ER is practically free, we don't pay that much. For me, because I pay, so I already paid for the top of the roof, I actually don't pay anything for the ER. However, there are other people, they pay 20-30 bucks. It's like, it's not that expensive. So there's a lot of people that come in that shouldn't, and often they are turned away, but there are people there that don't need the help fully. So I called, and she said, yeah, you are going to the ER and you are going now. I don't understand why you have waited this long. So I woke up Christopher. By then it was like 2:30, I think, in the morning, because I started it by actually trying to rest a while, just sitting up and just wanting the time to go by. And then I called, and I think I had a 45 or 1 hour queue time. And then she said go in. So we were registered at like 3 o'clock in the morning, registered into the system. It took, I think, 15 minutes to see a nurse. She took some blood tests, she kind of talked about my health, gave me a cup to be in, and then I went to go to she kind of sorts you out because there are different departments. And I was sat in my department, and this was just crazy because first of all, the waiting room was like mid-renovation, so it wasn't a pleasant place to stay in. The sofas are not comfortable. My back was really mad with me, and the way to it didn't show that you were supposed to go into that waiting room. It was really badly signed. There were like papers stuck to the wall because this is in like mid-transformation. The night nurses was really like grumpy and not service people at all. Like, I was afraid to go and ask them about anything. The water container in the waiting room was broken, so I had to go into the bathroom to get water. So it was like, from the beginning, it wasn't nice, and then it just took time, and it just took time, and it just took time. And after I think 7 or 8 hours, I went and asked, like, when is it my time? Oh, it's after 7 hours I went in and asked, when is it my time? And they're like, yeah, but there's only 2 people ahead of you. Because what it is you are grouped by the color on your arm into different colors. So people that have more of an emergency will go first. And also they do have ambulances coming in and helicopters coming in, so there were actually quite a lot of people coming in this evening. But anyhow, she said, like, there's 2 people ahead of you, and I think they let me in about an hour before that. After that, a nurse came and gave me a bed to sleep in, so then I had been there for over 8 hours. So I got this like little super thin bed that again is super uncomfortable. I didn't get a blanket. We actually found that there were drawers with blankets in the room, so we actually took one after a while because it was cold. It was really cold everywhere. And then I had to wait, and I found out later that the doctor that was going to see me had to go into emergency operation, so it took me another 2 hours before I actually got seen by doctors. I'd been there for 10 hours. By then I hadn't eaten for about 9 hours. Let's see, 10 hours. No, I hadn't eaten for like 16 or 17 hours. So my tummy had kind of relaxed, because it's every time I eat something my tummy gets upset. But my tummy had relaxed, so I hadn't been to the bathroom in quite a while. And they did all the kind of, she did all the things. The thing is, she's doing her like entry levels as a surgeon or something, like a doctor there, and she was talking about like, yeah, I'm not sure that this is blood, and I can see on the paper how it pooled, and poop and blood pool very differently, like how it stretches. And I'm like, yeah, this is blood. And if she had done the examination 10 hours earlier, she would have seen that it was proper just blood. Now it had gone like 10 hours, so my intestine had been able to push down even more things. So but yeah, she ended up saying that I want to talk with my supervisor, which ended up taking another 2 hours because he was in the surgery. And she came back and like, yeah, we think it is an inflammation in your intestines. It will pass. and we are going to send papers to your GP so he can follow up. Because of me having lupus, this can be the start of IBD. I'm actually not worried, because whether or not it is start of IBD, I now know what it is. I just, like, I was so happy on Friday evening, feeling that, like, well, I haven't felt this way in a very long time, so awesome, hopefully this is just gonna pass, be a once thing. So yeah, it's gonna be okay, but it was a rough 13 hours. So yeah, but with all of that, I came home. I did sit down and do my 100 stitches because I really felt I needed to do my 100 stitches. And also I felt that if I go to bed at 6 o'clock in the morning, we came home at like 5. So we stayed there for 14 hours. From leaving, we left home at 2:30 and we came back at 5. So it was more than like 14 hours, 14 and a half hours, something like that. I can't count right now. I think it's 14 hours, 14 and a half. So we were pretty exhausted. Christopher was with me all the time. I really appreciated him. But just as he said, if we had gotten into the doctor sooner, we had known something and maybe he could have gone home and sleep. So that had been so much better if that had been a possibility. If we had known that it would take 14 hours or 10 hours for me to see a doctor, then he could have gone home and sleep. And maybe we could ask for me to get a bed or something like that. No, there were people everywhere, so they were overcrowded. Really, really overcrowded. Like, they had people in beds along the, like, all the walls, and yeah, it was so much people. But yeah, I'm going to have a painful tummy for a couple of days. It has slowed down, but I haven't eaten yet, so I'm gonna eat a bowl of yogurt because she said that was okay, and then we'll see what will happen. But it was an adventure, and I'm pretty exhausted, and we'll see what happened. But good morning, guys. I hope you have an awesome day. So I'm very, very exhausted today. I'm very shaky and everything, but being that I was sitting in the ER for so many hours, I'm pretty bored today. And sitting and stitching, watching YouTube usually makes me, it's totally okay, but today it isn't. So I thought I'd do a small project and see if I can do that, and that is I am going to put some cork into a frame. I've been wanting to do this for quite some while right now. I have a whole bunch of pins that I bought when we were at Disney. I have a whole bunch of pins that I bought through like internet and stuff, and everything is just lying in a drawer. I want this drawer, or I want to move around a few things in the drawers, because the drawers that we have that I have to my left when I sit at the office table, and that Christopher also has things in, the whole set is just right now very, very messy, and I want to have one drawer that is only for keyboards and mouses and stuff, so that I easily can switch between the gaming computer and the Mac. I'm hoping to be able to buy myself a gaming computer somewhere in the near future, just so that I can return the gaming computer that I have borrowed from Gabe. He's super nice borrowing that to me, and I really appreciate it. But I have a hard time borrowing things from people. It's just like a mental thing. I don't want to be in the way. That's kind of the thing, and I feel that I am using something someone else can use, and then I have a little bit of anxiety over that, which I probably have to work on. But yeah, but until he wants it back, or until I feel that I can return it, I need to fix a system that makes it easy to swap between gaming computer and office computer, because I have been sitting and editing by my craft table, and it's not a perfect table. The two benches are a little bit too close, so I can't really like get my chair in between. I've been thinking about just moving them out a little bit, but then you will have that kind of little bit or dump down to the, right now it's flush on the sides with the drawers, and if you move them out you still have like the drawers as a table, but you will have that angle, so it's easier that you accidentally put things right smack at that little joint and then they fall off and then you have things all on the floor. And I know myself, when things fall on the floor it can take a couple of days before I pick them up because I'm in the zone. But yeah, so the first step is to do those little frames so that I can frame up and can see my pins, and so that is what we are looking at. But the frames are quite thin. They are like the cheapest IKEA frames you can get, so we need to build so that I don't have like the frame edge showing, so I have to build on top of that, and then I have to the cardboard to affix it to the wall is also a little bit thicker, so I want to replace that and then probably fix some kind of hanging by adding the hanging to the frame itself, to the wood part of the frame itself. So yeah, I'm gonna build up that, and I found that I have a small frame that I can use for the other pieces of the cork. So I have like a big block of 12 by 12 pretty thin layers but still cork things that I bought to use for Christmas, and I found this in like a clearing bin 4 or 5 years ago in a local store. I paid like 25% of the normal price of it. However, I bought it kind of, I think like January, February, so it was clearing out the Christmas stuff, and I haven't used it. I was supposed to use it the next year, and I think it is, I bought it like 2016 or 2017 in January, February, and I haven't really been crafting as I should. And I'm sorry about the little thing on my lip. I have been dehydrated, and my lips is the first thing that just crackles. But I'm drinking a lot of water and using some chopsticks, but you can see it, sorry. But yeah, so I'm gonna use it for this. I still have some sheets left. I'm gonna have some sheet left at the end of the day that I have some ideas to use for a couple of the Christmas cards. Just simple things, and then I actually have used up the whole package, which could, like, using up the last piece of paper out of a pattern paper pack and not wanting to or needing to destash them is kind of cool. And if I, after I've done this, have a little bit of energy, I am actually not going to tackle the table and trying to do that whole thing. This is just one step in that, and I'm not going to take the rest of it today because my legs are shaking when I'm standing because I'm so exhausted. But it's okay. But yeah, then I'm going to try to make a little baby card because Christopher's brother has 2 children, and the youngest daughter is turning 2. Yes, she's turning 2. So we wanted to give her send her a little birthday card. We're trying to be a little bit more vigilant with, or I am trying to be a little bit better with sending birthday cards. So far, I think I've sent 2, and I have missed a couple because I haven't done the cards, but we are going to try to get that, and especially for the children. The children is what's most important, and that would mean his brother's 2 children and my sister's son. So that's, I'm hoping to get those out, so that I'm hoping to get, and then I'm going to take paper and pen and draw some things for the idea that I had last Friday that I still haven't been able to do anything about because I got even sicker. But yeah, we'll see. how much of this that I will get done. As usual, this sounds like not so much, at least for me it sounds like not so much, but I also know that if I can check out one of these things this week, today, that would be awesome. Like, it would make me feel a little bit better. This is also one of the reasons why I do all of these things and always pushes myself, and sometimes, okay, almost always pushes myself too hard, is that to me, to feel good, I need to do things that progresses my life, especially when I end up being sick too long. When I have like my sick periods too long, when I can't progress my working life, when I can't progress really anywhere, I need to do a few things every day to progress my life, to feel better of myself. I do everything else, like I do the meditation, I do all of those things, but there are other things that you need, or I need. Everything about mental health has to be about who you are as a person. If you are, like me, a very productive oriented person, and you have found that meditation doesn't do it for you, or it doesn't do it all the way because you really need to be productive in some way, then maybe the way I'm doing it might work for you. I always look at where I want to be. I started actually to look where I want to be in 5 to 10 years in a very realistic way. So I'm not setting up hard, strong goals. And that is also because you don't know where you are in 5 to 10 years. Even if you're 100% healthy, your life can have turned a whole different way. You might get an opportunity that you feel that this is awesome, that will put you on a whole other track, but it's still a future that you feel very comfortable with, and that you might not have put up a goal like 5 years ago because you didn't think that this was an opportunity you would get. So your life will change, but always, for me, always doing something that will make some of my goals, my hopeful goals, come closer. That helps me mentally, even when I'm super sick and can't do anything. I know that, well, yesterday or the day before I did this little thing, and this little thing means that when I'm getting a little bit better, I can continue there, and I have done this step in the future, and it helps me a lot mentally. It helps me staying happy. And you might have noticed I bounced back from the whole benefit stuff much better than I thought. I am much stronger, and even though I'm still, my body is under a lot of stress, and I have like today I had some heart fluttering things, because the body's exhausted from all the health issues, and then it's the stress on top. But I'm still staying happy, I'm still laughing, I still can laugh at jokes, I still do believe that my future will be bright. And I think it's because I am doing all of these things to progress. It's a part of it, at least. I'm not letting myself just stand still. That is no longer a issue in my kind of health image, that I feel like I'm standing still. Of course, I have days. Everyone has days when I feel that everyone is going so much faster than I do. But then I just talk to myself and say that, well, just accept it. Just accept it. You will get there too. And then you might not even want to be there. When you have the energy to get there, you might have a whole other future that you are more interested in. And it's okay that you never get there if you choose to go another way. So yeah. Now I talked to yourself again, but I think it was a good talk. I'm going to fix that cork thingy, and I'm going to show you. I'm not going to record the thing because Christopher's in the office. It's hard to place the camera in a way that he can't be seen. He's watching TV series. That's why I'm talking out here. But yeah, I'm going to fix that, and I'm going to show you the result. So yeah, by the way, while I was sitting here stitching and watching YouTubes, because I did that first, I put this little light on, or started burning this little light. This is an issue. I love Christmas candles. This Christmas candle is actually the last one in my stash. I don't have any more. I need to get more, and Christmas hasn't come to Sweden yet. However, I'm hoping that 1st of November is the transition, so yeah, and I might actually record a Christmas setup, because I took the decision that we are going to put up the Christmas tree at the 1st of November. But yeah. So while Christopher's out eating or getting his lunch, I thought I'd show you. So this is the first one. So I have an hilarious amount of pins that I bought on our last Disney trip. So I decided to add them to some boards. This is really, really heavy, by the way. This is like one of the cheapest IKEA frames you can get. I think this is A4 size, but it's super simple, cheap, white frame. You get them in a pack of 2, I think. I have another one at least on the floor. And then I'm using some chipboard, and I'm going to show you how I'm using this, or some, it's called cork, not chipboard, cork, to make it. But yeah, this is the first one that I also added to, and I realized that I have a whole bunch of smaller non-Disney pins, and then I have all of these Disney pins because I collected almost all of the sets, the limited sets last year, because I really like Disney. I'm a Disney fan. I just never have bought any Disney things before, mainly because I just haven't. But yeah, so there's Leia also, but let's get to it, because I'm making a smaller frame for my smaller things, my smaller non-Disney ones. And here it's all full of cork. That's how it is. So what I've done is that I first cut 4 sheets of I kind of layered and layered and layered for the other one. So now I know it's about 4. I can fit 4 of these sheets. Yeah, by the way, this is the sheets of cork that I have. These are a little bit thinner because they're meant to use in paper crafts, like die cut out some cute things or anything, to be used then. I don't think I can cut out very slim things because the cork has a tendency to want to break apart. But bigger things like a scalloped background piece or something, it should probably go very well to do with this. It is die cut with a view. That I bought this 3 years ago. I don't know if you can get it, but Die Cut with a View was the one that sold it, or the brand that created it. That's the word. The brand that created it. So I still have the 2 big sheets of the greens here, and I'm going to pick out a couple of them there because I'm going to do another of the big frames. But for the short frames, this is how I've done it. I've cut down 2 smaller ones to kind of sit within the ledge because I need a depth of at least 6 to be able to fit the pin, like the back pin. And because these actually get a little bit too thick, if I would have all the 6, I wouldn't be able to get the back side on. So instead I'm cutting 2 of the sheets to fit within the opening, removing all the glass and all those things, and then I have 4 sheets that fits within the back side. And then I also have the back side of this frame, which is this one, to have on top of that. And to make these smaller pieces not fall out, because they would otherwise, because there's nothing holding them in, I have made small holes, and using these brads that I got. This is Inka Dinka Doo, Inky Doo, into Inka Dinka Doo. It's Inky Doo, and it is a Swedish brand of craft supplies. So I'm using those brads. Again, things I picked up like years and years ago. So I'm kind of using up materials I already have. I didn't have to buy anything new to get this to work. And then I have used my hole punch to make a hole through all of the layers. And put the brad through to the other side, which I can't do with one hand because I got that stuck wrongly because they fell apart. But then I just fold the brads, put on the back piece, put it in the frame, and then I have a cork frame to put all my little things on. What's it called? My pins! Put my pins on! I had to fold up because I didn't know where I really point with this camera, because it has a folded screen, so I usually use the folded screen. Anyhow, that is what I'm kind of sitting here doing. I'm taking it very slow. I'm not overextending me or anything, but I'm getting this done. By the way, my polish just broke. Well, I need to fix this anyhow because it has grown so far. This is normal polish. This is not a gel polish. This is just I have a bottom layer, which is like a carrying layer from Depend. Then I have one layer. I don't know if it's one or two of the black polish, but it is Essie. And then I have a top coat, which is... I have a ridge filler before after the carrying layer and before the polish, and then the last is the Sesche Vice one, it's fast drying thing, and they keep like if you look, I don't know if you can look at like my long finger, for example, get it to focus. It's a solid almost 2 millimeters from the base up to where the color is. So I've had these for like 2 weeks or something, and now they're falling apart. Well, I had to remove the polish like 2 days ago on the long finger, and I've been meaning to fix that, but I ended up in the ER. But yeah, that is my pin. I'm going to show you the whole things when I'm done. I actually have more Disney pins and ones on the table, because I know I have at least 2 or 3 Disney pins from that I have lying by my meds, because that is one of the places where I get undressed. I try not to have pins in my clothes, even if I'm going to use the clothes the day after, in case I forgot that they're there and then accidentally wash them. And then I know I have at least 1 pin in my handbag, because I have these special fixings that I bought from Disney that you can lock back the thingy. However, I think I either put them backwards. I think I put it in the wrong way. So I thought I were fastening it enough, but I think it just fastened the tip, so the tip glided out and I dropped it. I think I dropped the back side, but I don't think I dropped the front side. The front pin I didn't drop, so it's still in my handbag since that happened, which is a couple of weeks ago, because I'm bad at keeping up with things. But yeah, that is how it's going. I'm going to show you the end result then, after I've done that. Well guys, these are my pin boards. They are done. So they are all the 3 of them come from the same brand of IKEA frames. This one, however, is a little bit thicker at base, but that's the only difference really between them. They all are white. I think that these are, they're like, I think like $1-2 each or something. They're really affordable, and I think that one is like $5. So the frames themselves are really cheap. I do consider maybe decorating them and kind of have like some kind of Disney fan art around them, but I think that needs to be planned out quite extensively before I do anything like that. So yeah, here they are. So if you go here, this is then these are all my Disney ones, or not all my, I have them on 2, but this is the first batch of all of them. They are a mix of the like monthly collector ones. I think I had a total of 6 months of those, 5 or 6 months of those, and then they are bought from the Disney park. Most of them are actually bought from the Disney park. And these ones, again, these are the rest of the collector editions, and then they are Disney park ones. The one with the little ears are a gift from a friend. They are the kind of first time in the park pin trading kit. So I have 5 of those little ones, like these little ones. My absolute favorite one to wear is this one. Let's see if you can focus on it. Is this one, which came from Soarin', which is one of the Epcot rides that you can do. And I really like it. I wish I could find more of those kind of brassy ones because I really like the style. I love these color ones, but that one is actually my absolute favorite. And then I have a couple of others, like this one, which is Cruella de Vil as a like a cute little character. Also like it. And then of course I have one of Stitch. I need more of those. So definitely if we have the money to travel 2021 to Disney, like we want have kind of sorts in the plans, if that is something we are able to do, I will definitely have stored away some money for some pin shopping because I love pins. They're just beautiful. In the middle here I have a random assortment of pins that isn't Disney, and I wanted them to be on a different frame. This little adorable one is, I think, the first pin I bought, so this is kind of the start of my whole pin collection. This one is a Swedish artist who does. She does these beautiful, really adorable little characters. All of them are animals, and I really like this. I was hoping to get another one, but she had already sold out of that one, so this was my second choice. These 3 are World of Warcraft inspired. I was on her Patreon, so I could get a pin every month. However, the shipping went up and ended up being more than the pin itself, so I wasn't able to continue with that one. These 2 are Doodlebug Designs, I think, or if it's Lawn Fawn. Might actually be Lawn Fawn, but I don't know. Doodlebug or Lawn Fawn, either they are the same brand, those 2, and this is the one of the cutest of them, which is a little, I just lost the name of it. Well, anyhow, and this one we actually bought in the US also, but this is from the Tampa Aquarium. So it's a little bit of a jellyfish that is super glittery and says like I'm jelly or something. So yeah, that is my whole full pin collection. Both I didn't sit in the best kind of seating place because it's a little bit too high to hold the camera, and also I'm quite exhausted. I'm actually out of breath. But that is done. I got those done, and with that, because I went into other boxes, I did find the other ones that I didn't think I had. I did find a couple of other ones because those were they were in another drawer. I thought they were out here, but they were actually in another drawer. So I was able to clean by putting 2 drawers together, removing all the pins and putting 2 drawers together. I ended up having 1 drawer empty, which is going to be just mine for storing, like I said, mouses, keyboards, stuff like that. The reason also is because the gaming computer is a PC and my Mac is a Mac. It's an Apple computer, and the mouse works. However, I don't use the mouse with my Mac. But the keyboard is a Windows keyboard, and because they have slight differences, for me that would be confusing. You use a whole bunch of other keys to do the signs that you can't see on the keyboard, and when I develop, that doesn't work. I need to have a Mac keyboard to my Mac, and I do have an external keyboard, and that is because I put my Mac a little bit away and I connect it to the screen, so I have 2 screens. I have a separate keyboard, and then I use my drawing pad as a mouse when I usually work. Right now, because it is a laptop, I have been sitting in by the craft table and been editing and stuff, but I'm hoping to be able to kind of clean off there. It's a lot of cat hair as usual, because they don't stop shedding. They just shed all the time. But I want to clear that out. I want to clear all the cables. I want to make room so that I have a proper place to place the PC when I'm not using it. A proper place so I can kind of switch out that and the Mac. Have a place for them. And also kind of tie down all the cables. So hopefully I can get everything sitting together in a nice way. But yeah. Right now though, I am going to sit here because it's nicer to my back. I'm gonna eat some dried plums because it's really, really good to get your tummy going. And for me, because I was so hard in my tummy before everything of this happened, a little bit is the question is, was it too hard? Was it that hurt? So I'm gonna eat some plums just to make sure that there's nothing stuck anywhere. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that for a couple of days and we'll see. Everything else seems to have really just calmed down. It's not a big bother. It's sure I have tummy pains, but it's so little compared to how it was on Friday, like 2 days ago now. So yeah, it was much worse then, so I can live with this, and it will go away completely. It has before, so don't worry about it. But yeah, I'm gonna watch some YouTube. I'm gonna draw a little bit. I'm not going to cross stitch. I'm gonna sit here and draw a little bit, see if I can do a few things of those, kind of do the pre-sketches of the Christmas things I talked about on Friday afternoon before everything happened, or when I had a little break from everything. So yeah, and I'm pretty good in mood today, mostly because I got the pin boards done. It's been one of those things that have been on my list of things I wanted to do since last December, or beginning of January when we came back. So it feels really good to have it done. But as you saw, I have very little room left for more pins, and I'm definitely gonna buy more pins. There is one like 6-pin set that's only have stitch, so that pin set I do want to get and put up on the boards. There were a whole bunch of them. It was just that I came to a point where I'm like, I can't really buy any more pins. I think I bought pins for about $100 when we were there. So yeah, it was a lot of money, and I probably gonna have, if it's possible, I probably want to put a budget at around that this time also, if not more. I also have 2 other things I want to buy from Disney. One is one of those rucksacks that they have, and they are like $70. And I also want to have a spirit jersey because I don't own one. And that is also, I think it's $40 or something, if it's not more. So I need to budget that, and hopefully that will work. But it is 1.5 years ish until we would go if we can. So that is, but we do have our travels that are coming now in December, which are already paid for. So we're going. Whatever we're doing, we're going. We need to get away from all of this, honestly. And now that my tummy wasn't something bad or something that I have to worry about in the foreseeable future, she said that I asked her, is it something special I need to eat to kind of be nice to the tummy or to the intestines? And she said, you're already eating very nice to your tummy, so that shouldn't be an issue. Like I already have a diet for like IBD, IBS, just because that works better with my tummy. It's not because I have IBS. I never had IBS, and I don't think I ever had IBD either. But it's the same kind of diet you have when you get an inflammation in your gut. That's just, yeah. But yeah, it's gonna be the longest video. But you didn't get one yesterday, so maybe that's okay then. I don't know. Thought I would end the day by showing you how far I've gotten on Envy since showing her completely. It's going very slow right now due to the feeling icky and all those things. And then I have days when I just want to do other things, so then I don't stitch as much. Quick overview over how I organize things. Use my iPad and Goodreader for stitching. Sometimes I also use easy PDF for searching, because Goodreader, what I know, doesn't search that good. However, I mostly don't, because even there are quick techniques. Goodreader, I don't know, I like Goodreader for how they mark stuff. And when I found Goodreader, I actually went through a whole bunch of different PDFs, payable PDF readers on the iPad, and Goodreader is the only one I know that can keep up with all of the marking you do with a head. Do know that there is the Pattern Keeper, I think it's called, that you can get for your Android, but it hasn't come out for the iOS yet, so then Goodreader is what I use. I have all my threads here, and in the lid I have all the symbols. They are laminated, and then I put a little bit of double-sided tape on the back side, and I put them in the lid, and then I can pull them off when I'm done. And I restock this. This is my box. Here is my stash. These are my skeins, and these are the ones that isn't the colors of this. This is the full set, basically. I have also one box, I think, that is for a winter cross stitch, but as I'm doing the 100 stitch challenge right now, I'm not going to switch. And I also found it easier not switching patterns, because I remember some of the symbols. And then I thought I'd show you a little quickly how I count and stuff. One thing is I have these little count books where I kind of count every little of these box is a 10 by 10 square, so it's always 100 stitches. And at the end of the day, so today I did 35 stitches on this, and I finished off that box. I did 10 on that, which finished off that box, and 1 on that. Then I did 51, 68, 93 and 5. So those are all the stitches I've done. This box is finished because it doesn't have that slash, while these 3 are still have stitches to stitch. And then I show you this have 7 stitches in the top one and 8 stitches in the bottom. And the reason why I do so many is because on my previous row, or yeah, the second row actually had 11 different column pieces, because it's 2 and 3, while this one only have 10 columns. So then I do this. But yeah, that's how I do it. And then I write in the same color as I write up here. Like here I have all the pens and a mobile phone right now. I usually don't have the mobile phone up there, but yeah, I have my pens in an order, and then I just pick them, and then I write in the color of the numbers how many they were, and then I transfer that into this little book, which is kind of my counting the days. So I started this this booklet for Envy, and at day 1 I had stitched 137 days in a row, 100 stitches. So I just transfer that into this one, because I'm not going to switch patterns. I'm going to continue with Envy until Envy is ended, and when I finished Envy, then I can go on and stitch something else. But yeah, and then I just write in the stitch count, like how many stitches I've done, which day. And the reason why all of these are the same colors, because I discovered that I had made a copy-paste error in the first book that I printed for this, and about here somewhere I started, like, it was like 50 days over again for one of the numbers. So I just remade the whole one, wrote in all the numbers I already had, and then I just continued. So yeah, that is how it looks. I have until a year of stitching. I'm probably gonna need another book after that, but I needed to decide how many pages I wanted to do, and I started to feel it was a little bit too much, so I decided that 365 is good to start with. So that is how I track my stitching. Oh, I'm fussy and then my eyes are fuzzy. So, well, it's a horrid lighting situation, but I'm gonna head to brush my teeth and head to bed. You probably had seen me going through that before, but I thought I'd do a quickie in case I have any new people here. And if you are new to my channel, please say hi in the comments. Tell me you're here. You don't need to. If you are a kind of a little just voyager, voyeur, that's the word, not voyager, voyeur, just like me. I try to comment sometimes, but most often I don't comment because I watch videos on. But yeah, if you do comment, it makes me very, very happy though, because I know where you are or who you are, and I do have a bunch of you that comment on the regular, and it feels like I'm getting to know you, which I think is awesome, super awesome. And I know these videos are continually being late, but I'm hoping to be back on track later next week. Like, tomorrow's Monday, I have a whole week to just get ahead. I have a doctor's appointments and physiotherapy and all of those things too, but yeah. Right now though, I'm gonna go brush my teeth, give the kitty some food, and head to bed. But good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Bye! And as a little gift, I'm gonna give you Gizmo. A little Gizmo. Yay. So Gizmo has been lying here next to me. He is super adorable, and I also think he's a little bit out of focus. Yes, because I accidentally put on manual focus. Look! Look, here he is. My little kitty. Yeah. I'm heading to bed. Good night.